Hey foodie gang, today we're gonna be making a reindeer skillet. We are back in the kitchen. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel on your way in, and this is iced coffee, y'all. But we're gonna hop right into it because we're cooking potatoes, so it takes a bit longer. I got my tall shoes on today. We got our potatoes here. Yellow potatoes. Let me make sure I don't spill the water. And I was telling you guys, when you cut potatoes, you have to place them in water so that they don't oxidize. So we got potatoes here, reindeer sausage, onions. We got eggs here. We got a little bit of everything. I don't know what's going on. I think my phone was weird. Okay, but we're gonna get right started. 2 pans here, one for the egg and one for the potatoes. Hey Grace, how are you? How are you doing? We are just getting here, Grace. You ain't missed nothing. We ain't even started. So got the potatoes. I'm drain the water out of the colander. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil and put this on medium heat. I'm gonna pick some butter out too. We're gonna just be cooking and chilling, y'all. We're gonna be cooking and chilling. You know how we used to do it. I don't know why, but my phone feels low. I don't know. But hey, Grace, how have you been? How have you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. You been busy working? Okay, then we're gonna let our pan get hot before we add in the potatoes. We're gonna let it get hot. I don't know why my phone is looking weird. But we got our butter here. And I might make some toast to go with this. Just cause y'all are here. Great said, I'm great, baby, working in school. How are you, my love? I am doing good. I kind of slept in and I was on the phone for a minute, but I told my sister, I was like, I gotta get off the phone with you because I gotta go. I gotta cook breakfast for the food game. And I did members only live chat. Shout out to the moderators. 2 moderators are allowed to comment. But I was like, I didn't do it on Saturday because I wasn't able to set it up. Hey Angela, how are you doing? I wasn't able to set it up on Saturday, so I told you guys, like, hey, we have a members only live chat, so we're doing that. We're making a potato skillet. A reindeer skillet. We got our pan on here. We're about to put our potatoes in. And I did all the prep yesterday. I feel like when I prep the day before, it makes it better. Next time, because you guys love my prep episodes, I feel like I need to take these shoes off. I got my tall shoes on, and it's like making my head cut off. I'm gonna put my slippers back on. See? Look at that. We're gonna be doing another prep episode soon. You guys absolutely love my prep episodes, and it's crazy because I'll just be literally standing here cutting up stuff. Grace said, I'm so hungry, but I gotta wait till 3:30. Yeah, Grace be on her like diets, very, very disciplined. Yeah, see, I got the potatoes right here. Let's see if this pan's kind of hot. Nope, not yet. Not hot yet. I'm turning it up. Because we gotta go, y'all. Okay, so I did some live streams yesterday. We talked about the inmates and we talked about Cardi B updates in both of those stories. Later on today, we are going to talk about food stamps. And if I have time, I'm going to do a couple of pop-up live streams. So have the notification bells turned on. So that if I do go live, you get notified. And then we're waiting on that. And then we got our seasonings here. Onions. Reindeer sausages. Okay, I can definitely feel the pan getting hot. Okay, y'all. I'm not gonna move the camera no more. I'm good. I'm situated. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh yeah. So Grace said yes, she's fasting. 6-hour window. That's great. I did that before fasting. I need to get back to it. Y'all always ask me why don't you cook as much? I'm like, I can't be cooking all the time, you know? I'm be 400 pounds, all this cooking I got going on. So I started Time for Tea, where we talk about hot topics, you know, politics, food news, and we kind of just talk about what's going on in the world. And it's a great opportunity for me to talk to y'all. Because I was thinking, I was like, every live stream cannot be cooking. Because if I cook all the time, I'm going to be very, very huge. You know what's content creators? Hey, Blaze, how are you doing? Yes, we are back in the kitchen. And yes, you can get a plate, Blaze. You know you always welcome over here at 907 gig. Okay, I got some olive oil in here. Or, sorry, that's canola oil. I'm going to put some butter in here. And then Grace said maybe I'll do 8 hours. But yes, that is why I used to cook like 3 times a day, and I would go live. And I was like, you know what? This is too much food. I gotta start doing something else. But you know what's so crazy, Foodie Gang? My prep episodes do the best. Then my prep sessions do better than when I actually cook. Which is so crazy to me. I never thought that. Wait a second. What's this crown and number 3 next to my name? What's that supposed to mean? Okay, so YouTube started this thing where it's like, community awards. So whoever types the most in the chat will have like a 1, or you have a 2 or a 3, and it's like a leaderboard. So it's like whoever has the most taps, they'll get number 1. As my understanding of it so far. You know, YouTube's always like trying to do new things, trying to like make the live streams engaging. And so that's what the numbers and the crowns mean. We got the potatoes right here. Oh yeah, the butter. Yeah, but they're always rolling out new stuff on YouTube. Trying to compete with other, you know, other platforms like TikTok. Yeah, so that's what it is. I don't know if from that program do people get awards. I'm not sure about all that, like all the details. But okay, so on your guys' screen there is crowns, but on my screen it has like a community and it says crowns. But one day I was like, what the heck is that on? And I tried to like move it, but I couldn't move it. Cause it was like blocking my face. I was like, what is this? And then when you're a content creator, we have the YouTube Studio. And the YouTube Studio, they be telling us like all the new stuff that they're rolling out. And I was like, oh, I need to read what's going on. That's the problem here. But honestly, the way I feel, I like YouTube as a platform. I don't really feel like it needs to make a ton of changes. But that's why they started the gifts. You guys can give gifts too, and they do that a lot on like Facebook and TikTok. They give gifts. So YouTube, I'm like, look, don't add in that gift button because them gifts don't are not the same. It's like a very minimal amount. I like the super chats. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. You know, yesterday after we did time for tea, let me turn the TV down while it's frying. Yesterday we were doing time for tea, and I was like, you know, the thing I love about my content is that when you watch my content, you never leave this channel like angry or mad. You leave this channel feeling good and like you learned something from whatever we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't like those channels where you go and you walk away and you're like pissed off. I do not like that. And so certain channels I won't even go to because I don't like how it makes me feel after I watch the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you know, I get talking about people, but dang, do I need to talk about somebody for so many hours? Like, it's not that deep. But I like the way my content makes you feel after you watch it. And so I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the members, all the moderators. And during this episode, it's members only live chat. We're not going to get a lot of trolls. But when it's an episode where everybody's invited, y'all know we're going to have trolls. So thank you guys so much, members and moderators, for being on Troll Watch all the time. My bad, y'all. I just got a call. You know what makes me so mad? I've been here the whole morning. Nobody has called me. My phone has been pretty dry besides me talking to my sisters. And then the moment I get on live, that's when somebody calls me. I don't know what it is. It is crazy. And that was the phone call I needed to get, but I'll call them back. It's y'all time. But I was up here the whole day. Nobody called me. Let me just scroll up. Blaze said, social media is a cold game like so many other businesses out here. There's various platforms similar to YT, and if they're seeing success, best believe YouTube will try to play catch up. I don't even think YouTube needs to play catch up. I think YouTube is honestly leading as far as, thank you so much, Angela. I feel like YouTube is leading as far as paying its content creators very fairly. I was watching this video on TikTok where this guy said, thank you guys so much. I love y'all too. I was watching this video on TikTok where this guy said one of his videos got over 1 million plays and he only got like 83 cents for it. What I will say is TikTok is if you're making like 1 minute videos, that's short form content. Long form content, in my mind, what I believe is going to pay better. But if you had a video on YouTube with 1 million views, I think that you would definitely get over 83 cents. You would definitely get over $1 for sure. And so that's the issue I have with Facebook and TikTok. Is I don't feel like it's fair that my channel has we're almost at 500,000 views, almost 400,000. If I bring that many views to your platform, it is not fair for you then to not compensate me. If I worked in a restaurant and I served almost 400,000 people, I'm gonna get paid. I don't like that about those platforms, but they are great for networking. They're great for getting your brand out there. And that's why I'm on TikTok, Chef Big Bang. Y'all go ahead and follow me. And I do love Facebook for networking. Agreed. This channel is definitely a breath of fresh air, and it'll stay that way. It sure will, Blaze, because I got y'all. Y'all not gonna let nobody come up in here trolling, ruining the vibe. Like, I feel like we in life we have to protect our space. We have to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're cooking food. I don't think we should be that mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to the restaurant and they're mad and they're arguing and cussing, turn around, don't get the food. You know, you don't want nobody putting bad vibes on your food and all that stuff. That's not cool. But we should not be angry if we're eating good food. I don't get why people are so mad. And thank you so much, Grace. But, you know, if I bring 400,000 views to your platform, and any platform it's on, I feel like I deserve to be compensated. Now, I'm not saying you need to go ahead and give me thousands of dollars, but pennies? Less than $1, and I got 1 million views on one video? Come on now. Craziness. I feel like I'm going to take my services elsewhere. Grace said, I'm here, but when I see negative, other people here. Here? Oh, okay. She said, I'm not. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And Grace said, you know who I'm talking about. Grace, you got a problem with somebody? I didn't know that. Look, Grace, you're so sweet. So sometimes I was listening to No Captivity with Freezy, and what he was saying was that sometimes he won't even be aware that people don't get along. And that's how I feel like, Grace. I didn't know that you had a problem with anybody. Or that there was a certain person here. I didn't know that. And it'd be so crazy to me how people be finding themselves in a whole bunch of drama. Like, I don't get it. Because when I log off here, I'm on to the next piece of content. And Blaze said exactly that. I have enough on my plate in real life. Whenever I'm around chilling, like the winter, cracking jokes and speaking on whatever the current topic is. That's how I feel. You know, I created Ava's Playtime first. So I was making children's content. And our mission, it was always positive. I didn't even know YouTube got this negative until I came over to 907 Goodies. Dang, Grace said I don't. They do. They act dumb. Yep, I agree with you on that. But I didn't even know that YouTube was negative like this and people were beefing. Because I was making children's content. Everybody on there is happy. At least that's what they be acting like. So I didn't even know that people were like yelling at the screen. And I didn't know all this. I didn't watch this type of content where it's like panel shows. I feel like the panel shows is the ones that be really going down. But I'm like, dang, why is everybody so mad? And I don't ever want to have a job that stresses me out. You know, I don't ever want to go to work and have to cuss people out, have to fight. That's a hard day at work. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard day. That's a hard day. And then for you guys, like Blaze said, life is already hard enough. I don't know why we need to come on this platform or any platform and then be more mad. You know? And it's like, dang, they're mad out here, y'all. I don't know. So we got our potatoes here. We're getting them real crispy. They're still hard, but we're going to add in the onions and the sausage. What I like to do when I make potatoes, I don't season my potatoes until it gets closer to the end. And the reason why I don't do that sometimes is because the seasoning, in my opinion, will like stick to the pan. So I don't season it till it's like the halfway mark, I would say, or almost they're soft, because the seasoning is going to stick to the pan. Sometimes what I will do is I'll add a little bit of water in here and put the lid on top to steam them. If I have potatoes that are cut kind of big and they're going to take a while. But I can already see these ones are kind of already getting soft. But I made this for somebody the other day. And I only had a little bit of potatoes, but I was like, man, it looks so good that I was like, I'm making this for the foodie gang. We're making a reindeer skillet. But yeah, if you go out to eat somewhere and they're mad, they cussing, don't eat there. And if you do, just know you probably gonna be hurting later on. And Blake said, yeah, I think it's absolutely insane for grown adults to refer to other grown adults on this app as the ops. Yes, and you know what? I don't know why people are so disrespectful. I don't get it. And it's not really about someone being older than you or younger, but that person is an adult. I would never go to Blaze and just be cursing him out. Because it's like, you're grown and I'm grown. And you shouldn't even have to communicate like that if you are grown. And these are yellow potatoes, but you can use any type of potatoes. So I'll show y'all what the potato looks like. I could have like a couple left. This is what it looks like. These are yellow potatoes. But you can use russets. I've done this with red potatoes. I would say russets kind of have like, how do I say it? Russets kind of have like a more earthier taste, whereas the yellow potatoes are more mild, and they're really, really good. But any type of potatoes, russets, in my opinion, tend to be the cheapest potato. So if you are on a budget, that's what I recommend. If you're on a budget, invest in a bag of russet potatoes, because you can use potatoes for like any meal, whether that's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So potatoes are a good bargain. Hey, best friend, what's going on? How are you doing? How are you doing? Girl, you know what's funny? I'm talking about saving money, and that's when you show up. Look, but yes, invest in potatoes if you are on a budget. Potatoes are great. I really, really love potatoes. Get you some ground beef. And I feel like ground meats are always good because you can do a lot with those as well. She said calling me cheap. Look, ain't nothing wrong with being cheap. Look, in today's time, with food costs as much as it is, we gotta stretch our dollar. And it said russet potatoes are cheaper than golden potatoes here. Yes, russet potatoes are like the cheapest potatoes, but I love russet potatoes. And honestly, I normally buy russets just because they are cheaper. And you know, y'all know I'm, thinking about this stuff. I'll be thinking about my price tag when you go to the grocery store. Blake said, 907, have you ever tried making homemade donuts? I'm asking because I suddenly have a taste for Krispy Kreme. Blaze, I think you missed the episode where we made homemade donuts and you guys helped me glaze them because my glaze for my donuts was too thin. And they were actually, Susie B was here, y'all, and Angela Reddick was here, and they actually helped me put my glaze on the donuts because my glaze was too thin. And they told me how to dip them. But we made donuts, Blaze. And yes, I do know how to make them. I have a donut pan. They were baked buttermilk donuts. But I have not made donuts in a while, Blaze. Is that something that you want to see? And you want to see me make donuts? Blaze, I feel like you got a sweet tooth. Because every time I talk to you, you're talking about ice cream. You're talking about donuts. But Blaze, you look like a very in-shape dude, so you can't eat that many sweets. Yes, homemade donuts are good, and I haven't made them in a while. And I made them so cute. So what you can do, I was having fun with those donuts. I had to stop baking because I was like, I'm eating too many sweets. Blaze, don't do me like that. Blaze missed it. I'm gonna find that video and I'm gonna reshare it. Or I can make some more donuts because I haven't made them in a minute. Blaze, what type of toppings do you want on your donuts? Ooh, and then I had some toasted coconut. I put that on one. I put sprinkles on. And then for like Valentine's Day, I had like a white frosting and a pink frosting. Y'all, I had a whole donut shop up in here. I said, I gotta stop this. And Angela said, I haven't had donuts in years. Look, you better than me, Angela. I love me some donuts. But, okay, so Blaze mentioned Krispy Kreme. Let's talk about it. And I'll put the onions in here. I'm going to put the sausage in here as well. I do Uber Eats sometimes, right? And I did Uber Eats. And it was like an order from Krispy Kreme. Bro, when I walked in there, it smelled so sweet that it like made my stomach turn. And it just turned me off because I was like, oh, it just smells like straight sugar. But the Fred Meyers here sells Krispy Kreme donuts. I actually like them better from getting them from the grocery store because you don't gotta smell that sweet smell. You don't gotta deal with all that. Ugh. And they just don't taste as sweet from the grocery store. But I know they're made in the same place. It's very, very weird. I don't know. But Krispy Kreme, I would not eat at the actual Krispy Kreme. I would, however, go to the grocery store and get some donuts. And Angela said, low carb girl. Okay. We got some healthy eaters out here. Nothing wrong with that. So I put the reindeer sausages in there. I put the onions in there. And you're just going to mix that around. Let that cook. If you like your onions really, really crispy, you know, you can let them just cook for a little bit longer. If you don't like them crispy and you don't want much color on there, do low and slow. Blaze, I like to have dessert every now and then. Especially on a Sunday, that's a cheat day. Yes, every time you come through here, Blaze, you talking about some sweets. But I'm trying to eat less sweets, Blaze. But I love how when y'all show up to 907 Good Eats, y'all don't just show up. When y'all show up, y'all put your orders in. Y'all put your orders in. Y'all know what it is. Okay, so we're going to do a live stream later on today talking about food stamps. We're going to have NF join the panel. Remember I was up here yesterday and we talked about Cardi B and the inmates? There has been some breaking developments in both of those stories. So I might try to do a pop-up live stream. So have your notifications turned on in case I do another live stream in between this one and the food stamps. And Blaze said, it's a food channel. Like, yeah. Yes. This is a food channel. Yeah, I want y'all to put your orders in. Oh, I'm missing some chats. Sweets were on the panel. Okay, I'm there. Yes, we're going to see NF. She said she's going to camera up too and show us her beautiful face that she's been hiding. Like she's ugly or something. Yes, Blaze. Blaze has been putting in his requests. And I owe him this ice cream. I never got an ice cream maker. But I have not forgot. Ooh, okay. Blaze, I told Ava your idea about how you wanted to do or your idea was that we should do an appreciation stream for Ava because she's been going through it, she's been hurting all that stuff. So I was asking her, what do you want to do? And you know what she said? She said she wants to have an ice cream party, Blaze. So that is so funny. I don't know when we're going to do that, but Ava wants to do an ice cream party, and we're going to be like an appreciation for Ava for working so hard, for completing a really great season in gymnastics. She did a really great job. She actually ended the season with 22 medals. So she's just doing a great job. You know, and you know when you like, sometimes people do sports, they struggle in school too because they're just so dedicated to the sports. Her grades in school are amazing. Great reports. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just made sure she took care of everything. So, she wants to do an ice cream party, Blaze. I don't know if you told her that or what, but we are going to have an ice cream party one of these days. What I'll do is I'll get a fork and press one of the potatoes to see if they're soft and see what it's looking like. And Blaze said, "Oh, an ice cream party live stream would be solid. Ava deserves an appreciation stream." I think it was a great idea, and when I told Ava about it, she was happy. She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, what do you want to do?" She was like, "What do you think I should do?" So I gave her some ideas. And I was like, "Ava, you don't have to decide right now. You know, you can kind of think about it." So we're going to have an ice cream party one of these days. So my potatoes are pretty soft. At this point, I'll add in my seasoning. And then for the eggs, I'm going to do over medium in a separate pan. I did scrambled eggs last time. The only thing is I feel like with scrambled eggs, it's very dry. That's the only thing. But you can do whatever egg. You can make your egg however you would like. So we got a little pepper. Put a little bit of salt in there. Some oregano. Some of that in there. If you are a spice person and you like the food to be spicy, you can put cayenne pepper in here, red pepper flakes. I'm not a huge spice person, but I am going to put a little bit of cayenne in here, but not too much, because your girl don't do spice. You can put peppers in here too if you would like, but we're going to keep it simple. We have yellow potatoes, onions, reindeer sausage. A little bit of cayenne in there, not too much, just a little bit. That heat going. When I lived in Oregon, I used to always eat potatoes, like all the time. I just love. It's weird. I go through like phases in my life where it's like I'll like something and then I'll just stop eating it. But I used to always make potatoes. I used to always do skillets. Look at that. Go. We got our potatoes cooking up, cooking up. But hit the like button, support the channel, get a membership, you can send a super chat, or you can just hit the like button and say, "I'm here, Big Bang, I'm here." But shout out to the members, thank you guys so much for believing in me, and, you know, we have a special relationship. If you know, you know. Now I'm gonna try one of these potatoes, see where we at with the seasoning. So here we go. I'm gonna try one. It is hot. Be careful. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here. I'm gonna pop that lid on top because we gotta go. I just put a little bit of water, probably like half a cup maybe. Maybe not even that much. Let's see. 1/4 of a cup of water in there. Put the lid on, let it steam. Then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our eggs situated. And we're gonna be eating, y'all. What you can do if you're making potatoes at home, you know, you can get them all cut up the next day or the day before. And it's one of those dishes where I feel like once you do like the prep and you cut the potatoes, onion, sausage, it's so, you're just putting things together at that point, you know? You can go a little bit longer. Okay, so we are making a reindeer skillet. We have our potatoes with our reindeer on the stove. We are just letting the potatoes cook a little bit longer because we want to make sure that they're soft. That's the one thing about making skillets is that you have to make sure that your potatoes are soft. You don't want your potatoes to be hard. It is very unenjoyable. Very not okay. So we got a little bit longer. Let that do its thing. So. The seasonings taste, the seasonings were good. I don't have any issue with the seasoning. And as your potatoes cook a little bit more with the seasoning on there, it's just going to get more flavorful and all that stuff. Yeah, I feel like I need another coffee. see where we at. Let's see now. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. Be careful. So our potatoes are pretty much done. Pretty much done. And the next thing we're gonna work on is our eggs. Oh, we almost forgot. I'm gonna put cheese on these. Cheese. And this is a reindeer skillet. So I have reindeer sausage, potatoes, and onions in here, but this is a reindeer skillet. I'm gonna make 2 eggs over medium to go on top, and we're gonna ready to plate up. So what I do, I put the pan for my eggs on, right? And then I immediately put the potatoes on the plate. The reason why I do that is when the eggs are done, the eggs are going to be done. You don't want to like waste too much time. So I start plating up. Let me try to move it around so y'all can see what I'm doing. So I start plating up my potatoes and then I'm working on my eggs at the same time. You know what's funny? My sister, Kiki, she cannot multitask in the kitchen. And she has to do like one thing at a time. And she was telling me, she was like, I don't know how you do this. Because I'll have this going and I'll be working over here and I'll come back to this. But everybody cannot cook like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people only can do one thing at a time. I don't know why. Let me, hold on. This is making me so mad. Okay, there we go. It's like my head's cut off. Okay, there we go. I got to readjust it a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Let me see. But yes, she cannot multitask, but I can. I can do a couple things at a time. Okay, there we go. It's making me mad that my head's cut off. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in here just for the egg. And I'm also going to put a little bit of butter in there. See. Oh, you know, I should make 2 plates. And then, like I said, multitasking is a choice of mine. Didn't have a choice to learn how to do it. Yeah, honestly. Lily already taught me this trick too. You put one of the shells in there so that it doesn't pop back. So I got my eggs in there. My skillets over here. Put a little cheese on top of there. I said a little bit. I put a whole lot of cheese on here. When you're when you're doing your eggs, you want to make sure you have a clean spatula, because you don't want your eggs to look dirty. A little bit longer on that. We got a Reindeer Skillet. Let me turn this camera on. It's hot. It is hot. And one of my eggs is already popping. Look at that. We're going to go to the table. We're going to sit down. We're going to eat. I'm going to do a live food review for y'all. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And get y'all. Okay, here we go. Going to the table. Let me get y'all set up. I'm going to get some light here. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Got everything. Let's see. I think got everything good. We got everything. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's pop this yolk and see what it's heading for. This yolk is already popped. Both of these Y'all see that? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You know what I need? Ketchup. Mmm. So good. Mm. Mm. It's hot though. I would say, okay, I don't do stars, but I do a rating system. Man, this is like really, really good. I don't know what could be done that could really change the outcome of this because it's really good. Maybe I would say 9.2, and I would say 9.2 because of my eggs. What I should have done is if I would have leveled out my potatoes, when I put the egg on top, the yolks wouldn't have popped, but even that, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like the flavor. It's like the perfect amount of spice. Because I don't do a lot of spice, so, but like the spice amount that's on here is like perfect. Before I went to Portland, I never liked runny eggs. I thought it was so gross. But now, I'm gonna make some toast, but I don't need it. I guess I forgot about it. It's so good. And the reindeer sausage is really good. One thing I'm missing is ketchup. I'm about to go get up and get some, but I am just enjoying the flavor. So much so on this. So this is why it's hard for me to go out and eat. Or when I go out to eat, I order like simple stuff. Like you'll never see me order anything too complicated. It's not really gonna mess up. Let me slide it over a little bit. See, like for me, I like to eat my breakfast potatoes with ketchup. This is how I am. I know a lot of people do hot sauce. That sounds really good and complicated. I have made cheesecake before, but I haven't made it in a long time. Long time. I'm talking about years. So I haven't made it cheesecake in a long time. And but I know a lot of people always make cheesecake, but I haven't made one in a long time. That's one of those ones, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to move this. I'm going to be honest with y'all, food gang. What I would do for the cheesecake is I would make it myself, not on camera. There's something about baking that just makes me so nervous. And I don't know why, but like, there's like a weird glare on here. Let me see if it goes off with that. Do y'all see a glare on there? I don't know what that is. Mmm. Reindeer Skillet. Anyone? Blaze, I got your plate over here. You gonna come get it? And Lord, he said, Lord, they have chocolate peanut butter Cheerios. Don't recall seeing these before at the store. Chocolate peanut butter Cheerios. Yeah. I never liked Cheerios. And what made me mad is like my mom would always buy like that big old box from Costco or Sam's Club. Because we had Sam's Club around when I was younger. She would get that big old box and get some Cheerios. Ugh, it's so nasty to me. And golden graham cake. Is the golden graham cake like the bottom of the cheesecake, or is that a whole separate pie or whole separate cake? Blaze, so you want me to make desserts? Is that what's going on here? Blaze, I had to take a break from making desserts because I feel like I was eating too much dessert. So, but I haven't done one in a while. But you want a dessert episode? You talking about donuts, cheesecake, Blaze, and it's not fair because I know you walking around here skinty. Me, I can't be eating all that stuff like that. But I will do a dessert for you, Blaze, because I haven't done one in a while. And I have a lot of eggs right now. A lot of eggs. Someone actually gave me a box of eggs. So I do have some eggs. I gotta use that. And you know what I love about potatoes? Is you can have this again for the next day. They reheat so well. They reheat very, very well. But if you haven't had dessert in a month, that's great. And see, y'all be coming over here trying to get me in trouble. Trying to make me make all y'all desserts. And then, ain't nobody gonna be here to help me eat them. I see how y'all do me. That ketchup though is perfect. Just the right amount of seasoning. But did I say 9.2? 9.2 because when I put my potatoes were not like leveled out. So when I put my egg on there, it kind of like popped the yolks. But besides that, that's it. They're really, really good. Okay, I'm going to try to get... We're going to be talking about food stamps later on tonight. But I'm going to try to sneak in a last minute live stream. So y'all have notification bell turned on. Remember we talked about Anton Massey yesterday? He made a video explaining himself while he is on the run. And in that video, he has some very big allegations. He is accusing the prison system or jail system of being corrupt in the state, or in Louisiana. He's accusing them of being corrupt. Since then, and Blaze, I need to practice my discipline. I'm still working on that. He made a video of me making some big allegations, so I knew that they were going to have to respond to his allegations, which was, y'all are corrupt and you're trying to set me up on something that I didn't do. I'm innocent on this charge, but yes, I do have a history. Yes, I have done things that are wrong, but what you're saying I didn't do. That residence that he was recording videos from has been searched. They still have not found him. Derrick Rose is still out there somewhere. Right? His auntie went on Chris Cuomo and did an interview with him. They also, there's been a lot of people kind of responding back to his allegations. And there's been a lot of commentary on whether he is innocent or not. Do we believe him? Also, we talked about Cardi B. I have not heard the song, but somebody told me that Cardi B made a diss song for to Offset. I haven't listened to it yet, but I heard it's good. So, a lot to report on in one day. Be careful who you follow. Be careful who you look up to. Hey, Hawk. A lot of women look up to Cardi B. I don't even get why. But I'm eating a Reindeer Skillet. It's really, really good. Got some. I'm over here devouring it. We got the potatoes, Reindeer Sausages, onions, and we have 2 eggs. One is 1 egg now. Over easy. But be careful who you follow. A lot of people are looking up to certain people because they have money. Money isn't everything, okay? It's not everything, and there's always more to the story. So be careful who you follow. Be careful who you look up to. Some of y'all looking up to the wrong people. But Hawk, how are you doing? How are you doing? How is the ATL going? Yes, it's really good. Yes, Blaze. And Blaze, I knew you were going to comment on this because you was here yesterday and we were talking Cardi B. Yes, Cardi B made a diss track. I haven't heard it, but what I want to do a live stream, and I want us to go line by line and talk about everything she said. Blaze says she really made a diss track about him. Wow. Can't say I'm too surprised. Yeah, they got that hood love. Especially since it falls in line with her behavior patterns. Yes, and you know Offset's going to respond. But what happened to calling somebody on the phone when you got a problem? And Hawk said, I'm okay, can't complain. How are things with you and Miss Ava? We are doing good. Ava did fracture her toe. She had a cast, now she has a boot. We're taking it one day at a time. She is doing, I think Ava's doing great. She has her moments where, like, she feels, like, frustrated. But I always tell Ava, don't give up. So she's doing okay. And it is summertime in Alaska. We are in season 4. We are going to get outside. This weekend, the forecast says good weather. We are going to see. We going to see. I don't know about y'all weatherman, but the weatherman sometimes we saying one thing and it be something else. So we're going to see. Y'all, I'm telling y'all. You guys try this reindeer sausage. I don't know if they saw that where y'all at, but if they do, try it. It's so good. When I first had reindeer sausage, I had it at like a hot dog kiosk. I did not like how they cooked my sausage. I think they just like steamed it. You gotta steam it and then fry it because the meat is kind of a little bit tougher. And then Hawk said, I know how she feels. My knee has been bothering me lately and it's so frustrating. Oh my goodness, Hawk, you are reading my mind and my life. Um, so is mine. It is hurting, but I'm pushing through it because I was like, Ava's hurt. We can't both be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna work because I gotta take care of her. So, but I still getting around good. Y'all see me moving around the kitchen and all that stuff. So I know some people that have had knee replacements and they are really going through it. So I don't even be complaining about stuff. Or I try not to, because when you start complaining, I feel like it's just contagious. Then you can't stop, and before you know it, you are complaining about everything. And it is so hard to be around those type of people that just complain. I knew this one guy that every time I would talk to him, he would be complaining. Everything was everybody else's fault. He didn't do nothing, but he just happened to always meet bad people. And then I asked him a serious question. I said, well, what did you do? Because it's like, I hear what you're saying about everybody else, but what was your part to play in the situation? No, I'm not talking about you outdoors. No, I'm not talking. I like you outdoors. No, outdoors. Look, outdoors beginning to it. He said, we ain't got no mushrooms. We ain't got no veggies. I'm finna go pick them out the forest. Yes. Oh my goodness, Hog. That brings up a good point. She said, these doctors want to do surgery for any and everything. Yes, they sure do. I broke my right foot. And it was during COVID. So they was like, we're not doing any surgeries right now, but if it wasn't COVID, we would put metal pins in your foot to get it to heal faster. I had to wear a cast for 3 months, and they gave me like this bone stimulator device to put on my bone. Y'all, my foot was back to normal in 3 months. They would have cut my foot open, put some metal pins in there, and did a whole bunch of stuff. And it could have just healed naturally with a bone stimulator. So my cast had like a little hole in it. And in that hole, I would put the bone stimulator on there. But I'm telling you that story because Hawk is right. They always trying to operate on somebody. When it's like, I would rather just take the time and heal a little bit slower instead of getting cut open, going through surgery. And hey, lady, when I did that scrambled eggs last time on my skillet was so dry. That's why I do the eggs with the runny yolks. But however you guys want to cook your eggs for your skillet, it's totally fine. Outdoors, exactly. Then you're going to have to be heard. Then you're going to need... Look. I feel like this is all legend in my opinion, but I feel like the healthcare business sometimes out for money. Y'all want to do surgery for any and every... What happened to back in the day? Where they would give you like therapy or, try to work with you and they just try to operate like Outdoor said so they can get them checks. So true. So true. And, you guys, okay, so, I know that you guys have heard about this story because this, people can't stand the view. Sonny Houston, her husband is actually a doctor, and he's caught up in one of the biggest RICOs the state of New York has ever seen. And what they are alleging that he did was that he was performing surgeries that were unnecessary. And he would bill their insurance for unnecessary surgeries. So for things that were minor, that were minor, like me and Hawk are talking about, they would cut you open and put you on the table and bill your insurance. You know what they did? They said, okay, keep doing this. How about we call this a Rico? And we examined everything, and then they said it wasn't just him, it was a whole bunch of doctors. Hundreds of people. Hundreds of doctors performing surgeries that are not necessary to get the money allegedly. Look, and then you ain't never lied, Hawk. I know this woman who got MRSA from being in the hospital. That's another thing. So some surgeries are necessary, and you will know when you need surgery. Not all surgeries are necessary. But if I say something is hurting and you say we're going to cut you up, I'm like, whoa, what? Show me the MRI. I want the CT scan, the x-ray. I need to see that there's an object inside of my body that needs taken out before I believe y'all. Yes. I would have said, yeah, they're buying cars and surgeries. Do y'all remember that he was a healthcare executive? I do not agree with this, not only agree with violence, but we're going to say the story because we're on the subject of how some of these doctors be scamming for money. Now, some of the doctors save lives. We're going to talk about those people. But in every situation, there's always good people and bad people. The healthcare executive that was executed, I believe in New York. Do y'all remember that story? And the homeboy said, hey, I think he had back issues. And they kept denying his surgeries, I think. It was something like that. Aldor, you laughed at what? And then Aldor said, I'm a disabled veteran and it's a problem if I want a Percocet. But they do this, yes. The healthcare system is not right. But there are positives that come out of it. Not every situation is bad. Not every doctor is bad. You know, they saved my life. But I'm talking about the unnecessary surgeries. If I go to you and I say my shoulder's hurting, and you're like, oh, we got to do surgery. Like, hold on, bro. You don't want to try any other remedy first? You know what I'm saying? So... And outdoors, you laughed that way. I wasn't laughing, but I would say some people was happy. Because people are tired of it. Oh, goodness. Yes, and then my thing is this. If it's going to come down to surgery, well, then you need to explain to me and I need to be able to see what you're talking about. And you need to explain to me why I need surgery. Because surgery is not a little thing. That's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And Hawk, you're right. After they cut you open and you're in the hospital, you got to be careful too with that. No, I wouldn't say I hate, but I have witnessed and I have seen, people not getting done right. And then I've also seen doctors step in and save somebody's life. So I wouldn't say I necessarily hate it, but I do not like how it's come like a for-profit situation, and it shouldn't be. And it's like, and then I just say my body is wrecked from the military. They don't even care. Why? Because TRICARE don't play their games. And, I would say, the vets, hopefully it'll get better. Just man, y'all be having to fight. Yes, Hawk, you're absolutely right. It's a good way to sum it up. And that's kind of what I was trying to say. It's like she said, right, two sides to the coin. Yes, some cases they do save lives, and without them, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? But there are some times where they're doing stuff that you know, just like, bro, what's up with this? And I feel like when they know that you're like maybe like you're slower or you're elderly or you're not able to really like communicate with them, I feel like they were trying to get over. Like these doctors who are putting all these body parts on people, now they throw them all away. Now the neurosurgeons, the heart doctors who's actually out there saving lives, helping out children, that's different. But some of these people is like, you know, you wrong for this. Why you got her out here looking like this? And Hawk says some stuff is just overkill. Yes, I agree with you. And Outdoors, thank you so much for coming through. Y'all make sure y'all check out his YouTube channel. But yes, there are good things that happen and bad things that happen. You know, so like, what do? You know? Yep, that's right. How's that? All we can do is stay prayed up. Yeah, that sure is right. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that, like, God has put these doctors here and He has given them the knowledge to step in and save lives. That's what they're here for. God put them here. So you gotta listen to them. But some doctors are working for the wrong thing. But at the same time, some doctors save lives. Like, that's what they do. You know, if you're performing 4 heart surgeries in a day, I mean, that's a big deal. Like, heart surgery, like, those people need the doctor at that point. I don't feel like those type of surgeries are necessary. But the people that's putting these booties on these women, that's when you get kind of cray-cray. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Sony Houston, I think her last name is. Her husband is caught up in a RICO out of New York. They're alleging that he's like committing insurance fraud. He's doing unnecessary surgeries and he's billing the insurance companies. Or I think they said he was operating on people that they know don't have insurance and then somehow billing for it. There was something like that. And it was like a whole ring. It was a whole bunch of doctors. It wasn't just him. Yeah, y'all. And then Sunny on The View, a lot of people don't like her, so they be on her neck. And when it came, she always talks about how Trump is a felon. So when it came out that her husband was facing this RICO, the male podcasters was not letting it up. And they ain't playing with Sunny because all the stuff she be saying. That's why we were saying during yesterday's live stream, talked about Cardi B, Blade said the tongue is very powerful. So you need to be careful of the things that you say. It's funny that she talked about somebody being a convicted felon. And now her husband, and it hasn't been proven in court that he's innocent or guilty yet, or innocent to proven guilty. She was talking all this mess about Trump being a felon and all this crazy stuff. Now her husband is caught up in a RICO. That's why y'all need to be careful who you talk about, careful of the things that you say, and nobody is too big to fall. They will put a charge or a case on anybody these days. Action and sheriff. yes, Hawk. She was talking all that mess. Her husband allegedly is a whole criminal. Okay? And you know what? Nobody just puts a RICO on you. Like, you're never going to see me in a RICO case out of nowhere. And I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Yes, and yep, another one is Diddy. And I want to talk about Diddy because y'all have been asking about it. I wasn't going to report on Diddy because it's a very nasty situation. But the Foodie Gang said we want you to talk about Diddy. So I'm going to try to get in there somewhere. Because I'll be doing my time for tea where I talk about hot topics. Because I always, or recently, I've been into the hot topics. Into the mess. And I'm like, you know what? I'm always watching this. I always know all this stuff. Let me just report on it myself. But Diddy is not another person that thought that he was too big to fall. Y'all, we are human at the end of the day. We are all God's children. And y'all need to stay humble and remember that. Just because you think you have money, it don't matter. Because somebody has more money than you. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all. Let me get the Yeah, but nobody just gets caught up in a RICO. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't do nothing, you ain't gonna hear my name in a RICO. You know why? I'm not hanging around people who are doing RICO activities. You know what I'm saying? So he may be innocent, but she's talking all that mess about Trump being a felon. Whole time she's sleeping with one, allegedly. That's why y'all gotta be humble. Stop thinking you're better than people. God will humble anybody. You don't know, ask Shannon Sharp. Ask Diddy. Ask him. Ask Offset. Offset gonna taste his own medicine. He wants to be a dog. Now he getting dogged out. Now he over there crying about it. Look. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. So, be careful who you talk about. Be careful who you talk about. Life will humble you. It takes a moment for your life to change. Moment. That quick. But here is the reindeer skillet without the eggs. And then I'm eating it over here, y'all. It's good. But yeah, stay humble, stay out the way. Stop thinking you're better than people because you're not. We're all human. We all believe the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I always knew this. But some people don't. Some people really think they're better than everybody, and there's nothing that you can do to them. It's like, no, nobody's invincible here. Yes, silver spoon, folks. I know that's right. Even with that, you could be rich. You know, okay, you better pay your taxes. The IRS can come get you and throw you in jail. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody is too big to fall. You know what I'm saying? There have been so many people that have had a lot of money, and all that happens is the fall is harder. Oh, you said don't waste this? Don't waste this? Girl, are you talking about don't waste this? Yeah. What you saying? What you talking about, lady? um, but yeah, nobody is too big to fall. I'm gonna try to do a pop-up live stream talking about. I'm really gonna talk about Anton Massey, or we talk about Cardi B, but we'll see. Keep the notification bell on, or turn it on. Later today, we're gonna be talking about food stamps, and we're gonna have NF join the panel. So it's gonna be a great one. And Hawk said, nobody is immune to the trials and tribulation of life. Exactly. I don't know. I guess people, think because they have money they're invincible, which is crazy. And maybe if when I experience all that money, maybe I'll feel invincible too. But until then, you gotta be realistic. Anybody could fall. And honestly, I think that those people fall harder. You know what I'm saying? Because you're used to this one lifestyle. But it's the fact that like people like P. Diddy allegedly, it's like you think you're better than people. And you think you can treat people badly or talk down to people because you have money and status. Okay. They took away his status. Y'all, do you really think that P. Diddy can go anywhere and be taken serious now? Even if he's found innocent, we are never going to unhear the things that we have heard. Bro, that man is a laughing stock. Baby oil will never be the same again. Thanks to him. He will never get taken serious. Nobody ever is going to want to work with him again. But he does still have money. But money does not equate to happiness, clearly. And if you think it does, ask Cardi B, ask Offset. Because they over there millionaires finna lose their mind. Hawk said, yes, they be the first one trying to unalive themselves when Ish hit the... Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, When you're born with a silver spoon, that's all good, but you have not experienced real life. Because you've been sheltered, you've been coddled, you know what I'm saying? Hawk said them lawyers about to get that. That's a good point. And that's another thing we gotta talk about. When you have all these cases on you, and you have lawyers, that could eat your money up real quick. Plus all the hush money he had to pay out. But you know what? This is an example of life humbling you. At the end of the day, because it's like, you thought you were better than people, and God said, let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick who you really are. They took away everything. They took away the status. They took away, him being in control. They took away his power, right? They're working on the money part. At the end of the day, we're all human. He's a regular person. He always was, but he thought he was somebody else. He thought he was up there with the Most High. God said, no, you not. Treat my kids like that. Yeah. The last shall be first. Look. Y'all better stay humble out here. Stop thinking you better than people. And you be seeing a lot on YouTube. People will be thinking because they got some microphones and craziness. Take what is going on in life as a lesson and apply it to your own life and like, how can I not be in the same situation? Not saying that you won't be in another one, but and Offset and Cardi, I'm really afraid for them because I don't like what's going on. And we all know that the same stuff men dish out, they cannot take. You can't take it. He went and publicly embarrassed her on all the sites, all the blogs, by all these different women he had. She do the same thing, and he's talking about unaliving people. But she needs to be very, very careful. And Hawk said after having all the kids, yes. Lady said Johnson Johnson's he broke ma. Sorry. Okay. So do you think P Diddy is broke at the moment, or do you think he's going to go broke behind his legal defense? And we got to mention this: the work that he had going on that was bringing in that residual income, the sponsors. Y'all remember he was with Ciroc, and he was acting like he owns Ciroc, and he really didn't. All that stuff has stopped. So the money train has stopped. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he got, he better hold on to. Um, and then the Hawk said they gotta watch that mess. Yes, it's trifling parents. Lady said all those lawyers and lawsuits, he going broke. His home in disarray. Oh, I think you meant disarray. Do you guys think? I'm gonna ask y'all this question. Do you guys think that P Diddy's kids should be liable to pay restitution to all of the victims? Or do you think that the kids should be able to keep their inheritance if they were gonna get one? Like, what y'all think about that? Hey Jihanna, what's going on? What's going on? And then Hawk said going broke between hush money hits on folks and a legal team. Yep. Won't he do it? Y'all better stop playing games out here. And lady is absolutely right. You always reap what you sow, and what you do in the dark always surface back to the light always. We will never forget the things that we have heard about P. Diddy. We will never forget the videos. We will never forget the bombs that were dropped during trial. We will never forget Kim Porter. We're never going to forget these things. So as far as the court of public opinion goes, Diddy done with. We done. We're moving on. Do y'all think he's going to get some time? Do y'all... some people... I've heard this. That they think that P. Diddy should move out of the country. I think the way that they're setting it up is that they're going to put... you know when you have like probation and you can't leave the state? I think they're gonna do that to him. I think no, I think P. Diddy should have to stay here and suffer. Yeah, it's only right. It's only right. Hawk said nobody's even signed to Bad Boy anymore. And if they bring that up, if they go down that rabbit hole, it's over. I don't know if they're going to go down that rabbit hole during this trial, but if they do, that's another one. Because there's been a lot of speculation, allegations that P. Diddy had a lot to do with a lot of people on Bad Boy losing their life. But do y'all feel like the kids should get... Do y'all feel like the kids should have to pay the victims? Or... My thing is this. If P. Diddy owes money to people, to victims, and has to pay hush money, I don't care what's left. If those kids have to go out and get regular jobs, okay. That should be fair. Why should they be able to sit here and profit off their dad's work when he may have been doing all of this stuff? Sorry, kids. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. It is what it is. Hopefully, and then you know what's so sad? Those little girls lost their mom and their dad. And there's some speculation out there. And they think the reason why they lost the mom is because of the dad. Because of P. Diddy. And Hawk said no, they should get what's left after all the mess, I guess. Yes, that's how I feel. Pay everybody their money, and if it's $2 left, well then y'all split the $2 four ways. Everybody get a little bit, like, I don't necessarily feel bad for the kids, and which is well, first of all, the kids is kind of grown now. I heard the girls was like 19. They're grown. They probably thought they were going to live a lavish lifestyle because of their dad, but your dad was in a lot of mess allegedly. So, he ain't got no money, you ain't got no money. Shoot, that's how it is for us regular folks. When our parents is poor, we be poor too. Yes, too many secrets. And you know what I was thinking? So I've been watching a little bit of the P. Diddy trial, and I do want to do a live stream on StreamYard. You know what I was thinking? Where were the kids when all this stuff was going on? And from some of the witnesses, the kid was actually at the house. That is sick work. That you would go. I'll tell you another about y'all. That you would go and beat up somebody while your kids in the same house. What is wrong with y'all? And the fact that you have all that dirt on your hands, all that blood on your hands, and still try to be a good father, like, what type of double life was he living? Crazy. And Hom said they'll have a lot of opportunities because of him. I think some celebrities are gonna feel bad for the children, so they're gonna be more willing to help them. But I would change my last name. I would change my last name. Like you have to. As soon as they see that name, change my last name. No, I would change my last name because it's like that name will always carry disgrace now. And keep in mind, Hog, we're not even done with the trial. Yeah, I would change my last name. I'm like, look, I gotta You know how you rebrand yourself and you get a new name? I would rebrand myself. I know that's their father, but and then I wonder if they feel like something happened with their mom or what happened with their mom was sketchy. But, you know, all they know is their dad. They love him like they're supposed to. But I just feel bad. And then to know that those girls are the same age as Cassie when Diddy first started messing with her is just sick. Sick work. And I don't even like how them little girls be dressing. And I say little girls because they're 19. They still little to me. Belly all. I don't like it. But I'm a very modest person. Yes, Hawk, and that baby is a little. Yes, he just had that baby. And can we talk about how he got all them baby mamas? I was what he got, like 2 or 3? Crazy. Lay said, I'll be embarrassed and on his ass for what happened to my. Yes. Yes, I wonder if they feel like what happened to their mom was sketchy. But are they staying by P. Diddy because he got the money and that's all that they know? Them poor kids, like, Diddy, you need to, like, you did your kids dirty. You did your kids dirty. You worked all this hard to turn around and you made all this money, all this, you know, all you got your name all big, build a whole empire. And then it all crumbled down because of you being dumb. Because of the baby oil. I would be so mad at my dad. I'm like, man, Dad. I'd be so mad because, like, damn, we was going to be rich. And you ruined it. Being weird. I'd be hot. And then You allegedly took out our mom. That is just that whole story is crazy. We gonna talk about it on Time for Tea. We're gonna try to get to it this week. And I'm kind of like thinking like, where do I hop in? And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pretty much summarize. We're gonna just go over some of the highlights from what's been going on so far. Hawk said he should have left the country a while ago, like a lot of these celebs are. Yeah, but back to that thinking that you're better than everybody else. P. Diddy thought he was too big to fall. He thought that even if he got caught, he wasn't going to get caught. He thought he was too good. I don't know why anybody that's my skin color feels that way. I don't know if people know what's really going on here, but if you are black, you are black, okay? It doesn't matter if you work with them and you got all... I'm looking for my lip chat. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, you are black. So stop it. And then Hawk said they saw it about to hit... Yes. If I was Diddy, I would have ran. But what I did hear is that he didn't want to run because they would freeze his assets, and what would that do to his children? Is a theory that I heard. So he felt like he couldn't run because they would have came after his kids. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think that's... If did he care about them kids, would he have been doing what he was doing? Like, if you're a caring parent, why would you go out there and abuse other people that are young adults? If you really care about your kids while you have young children. I don't think it was about the kids. I'm not sure why he didn't run. Yes, but Diddy thought he was bigger than the program. He thought because he had money, he could intimidate the world. And he just thought he was just so full of himself. Craziness. He was just full of himself. I'm like, bro, calm down. You can't dance. For the length of time he's been doing it. Yes. But see, that's another reason why he had a big head. Is because he had been doing it for so long. He was used to hiding his secrets. He was used to moving them behind the scenes. He was used to paying people to get them to be quiet. Well, okay. Now pay everybody at once. And pay for this legal team. And let's see if you're going to come out on top. This is why, even if you have the ability to have people work for you and bow down to you, that does not mean abuse them. That does not mean abuse your power. And I believe in good karma. Oh, I believe in karma. So the energy that you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. And in Diddy's case, it seems like, allegedly, these are only allegations, except for he was beating on Cassie like that. We saw that in the video. But the energy he was putting out was terrible. And that's what came back to him. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Yes. Just because you hold these people's career in the palm of your hand and you can make them do whatever you want, doesn't mean you should. And look at how God humbled him. He was able to make or break somebody's career. And he dangled that over their heads as far as like albums and the music industry. And then it flipped. Now the victims are able to make or break his career. So it flipped. P. Diddy was on top. He was calling the shots. He was deciding who gets put on, who doesn't get put on. Then the victims became empowered by what Cassie did. I wish they would have spoke up years ago, but that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. The victims spoke up. And you know what they did? They had the power to make or break Diddy's career. Crazy Cat Taylor's turn, ain't it? And then Hawk said, "What goes up must come down." So the tables turned. He got humble. I bet he is sorry. Oh, y'all remember when Cassie came out with her allegations, right? In the civil suit. And did he make that lying ass video talking about somebody ain't do it? I think he released on Instagram, right? The hotel said, okay, lie if you want to. Release the tape. And then we saw the video of him hitting on Cassie in the hotel. And then he came back on. He was like, I've gotten help since then. It was me. I lied before, but I'm telling the truth now. No, that's not how it works, Diddy. Your credibility is gone now. You lied. And we all saw you lie. And you know what? Honestly, Diddy was never going to admit to any of his wrongdoing. Even now, he feels like he's innocent. He was never going to admit to it until we saw that tape. And that hotel is dirty because they've been having them tapes for a long time. But they you know what? Diddy used to blackmail people and do a bunch of stuff, and all that's coming back on him now. It's all coming back. That's crazy. But today we cooked a reindeer skillet. I did make 2 eggs over easy, and I had my plate. We ate, we cooked, we talked. I'm gonna do the live stream later on today about food stamps. We're gonna have NF hit the panel. If I have time, we are going to do some pop-up live streams. So have the notifications turned on. If we do a pop-up live stream, we're going to talk more about the inmate situation. And we may get into Cardi B if we have time. Yes, Talk. That was the catalyst for all of this. Yep. And you know what? They always, before I get back here, they always say, why don't women come forward? Why don't they tell their side of the story? Then the woman comes forward and y'all all call her a liar. You said she's out for money, which may have been true. It was a civil suit. But were the allegations true? That's what we want to know. That's what the women was like. The women was like, well, are the allegations true? It don't matter if she's filed it civilly or criminally. Were the allegations true? And they were. We saw it on the video. And then everybody's like, oh, okay. But you guys ask women to come forward, and then you pick apart how they come forward. And this is exactly why victims don't come forward, because nobody has time to be picked apart. Why don't y'all pick apart Diddy? Y'all got all that energy for Cassie. Where's the same energy after Diddy? You know? And hey, Outdoors, I'm back. Hawk said people talking now because he's locked up. Yeah. Oh, now y'all think Diddy's a monster. Yo, when Cassie said it, y'all didn't believe it. Y'all need to prove. Outdoors is so funny. He said we are all victims these days. Look, sometimes there's nothing wrong with being a victim. It is what it is. It is the crying. It is the complaining for me that I'm just like, okay, all right, I've heard enough. Click X, bye. I'm out. You know, instead of complaining, spend some time working on the solutions, or, you know, your time could just be spent so much more effectively than just crying and complaining. I always say, use that same time that you would spend crying and complaining to working on a solution. And then Outer Side feel that and said, lady said they were scared that Hawk. Best time to talk, right? And shout out to Lady, because me and Lady just be looking at everybody like, man, what's going on? Y'all need some help. But yes, it could always be worse. No one's life is 100% perfect. Like, we're real people here. There's gonna be some good days, gonna be some bad days. But you gotta keep going. I don't think people should be giving up. And we're seeing a whole lot of giving up. The only person who I believe are the real victims are the kids. Because think about it, kids don't have a choice. They're not paying bills like that. They kind of have to deal with whatever hand is dealt to them. But once you grow up and you get up out the house, it's all on you at that point. And Hawk said we all need counseling. I agree. And I have a family member who needs counseling but doesn't really believe in counseling or asking for help. Let me tell you something. There is nothing wrong with asking for help. And if you think that you're going to get through life without anybody helping you, you are mistaken. We all need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. With that being said, if every time we look up you need help, that's a problem. Okay? Don't keep calling my phone, asking me for rides, asking me for $20. It's all within reason. Don't become no beggar now. And I said, I don't know what you were talking about, but I know females offer themselves up as something physically to offer. Then they cry because they feel like trash. They are the man is trash, but let's keep it equal. And I agree with you. Yesterday during my live stream, we were talking about Cardi B, and I was saying this. People are looking for money, not looking for character. So if you get with a rich man that's already cheating and doing craziness, then you need to accept what it is. Just don't come back over here crying, talking about something they did you wrong. Well, you were not looking for character. Because if you were, you would have been gone a long time ago when that person showed who they were. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. But it's when you keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over, and you have no self-accountability. Just say I was looking for money and I got what I got. That is true. And Cardi B did say in one of the clips I played yesterday, she said, hey, I'm always going to have a rich nigga taking care of me. When I get done with this one, I'm going to another rich one. And I'm going to another rich one. Okay, Cardi, we get it. Don't be on here crying though when they cheating on you. When they have you out here looking silly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Look, we don't want to hear it. Yes, how you get them is how you lose them. So that's all I'm saying. If that's what you want to go for it. Do you. But don't be out here crying, trying to get us to feel sorry for you, when that is the type of men that you were going after. And regular men cheat, but we're talking about cheating on like a superstar level. It's like I imagine it's got to be a lot differently. Very, very true, y'all. But we about to get up out of here. We've been up here for almost 2 hours. Like I said, I'll be going live later on tonight talking about food stamps. I am going to try to fit in a pop-up live stream. So have those notifications turned on. So when we get up, we're going to get up. And I dropped some pre-recorded content today on my channel. A shortened video, so go check it out. I also make children's content at Ava's Playtime. And we had another video come out yesterday on Ava's Playtime. So go ahead and check it out. Your girl been busy. But I've been trying to get more into the editing studio. I love going live because I don't have to do any editing and whatever happens, what happens. But pre-recorded is where I started, so I'm never gonna completely forget it. I love outdoors because the outdoors be like saying what he be saying exactly what I be thinking. And he said, I bet a lot of crying starts when the money ends. I know that's right. It sure does. And Outer says, more cooking, please. Look, I be cooking all the time. Y'all know I can cook. And I'm trying to eat less food. So, there's going to be, we going to have some cooking. But it ain't going to be like how it was in the beginning. I'm trying to eat less food, y'all. And thank you so much, Hawk. Y'all have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next one. After this live stream ends, leave a comment down below. What do you mean outdoors? Alternative times? What do you mean? What is that? What is that? But thank you guys so much. Check out the live streams that we did from yesterday for Time for Tea. And let me know in the comment section what you want to see me cook. No, I don't have any of those. I don't have y'all know I don't have a set schedule. That's why I say turn on the notification bell. But we're gonna have some more food coming up. We're gonna have some more Time for Tea. We're gonna have some kids content. We got a little bit of everything going on. But I'll see y'all next one. This is Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank. We are officially in season 4. The forecast is saying that we are gonna have some nice weather this weekend. We will get outside if that happens. The weather has not been good in Alaska. Ooh, turkey wings. Okay. But I'll see y'all next one. Peace. I'm out of here.